Good afternoon. Good afternoon, wonderful human beings. Come before you with the universal greetings of peace on this channel, Truth Disclosure 369. Just want to get on here for a little bit. You know, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. You know, you just want to continue to put information or bring awareness to certain shit that probably being over, well, we know it's being overlooked, but it's having to come across a couple articles. I mean, you know, Matt Gaetz on the Republican side. That's why I always say, man, I don't give a shit about what any side saying, especially when you got hypocrites and a lot of aloofness from morons who want try and steer your life a certain way, especially after you done voted their ass in or whatever. And you know, seem like when shit like this come up, they run around. A lot of people don't obviously know a lot of information that's out here on these chumps. But you know, you got this right here. This is from yesterday. Republicans in Congress face a Matt Gaetz reckoning as feds close in on the embattled Florida lawmaker. You know, this is the same guy that's out here with Marjorie Green and you know, some of the other Republicans that's talking all this shit about what they don't agree with that the Democrats are doing. Oh, and saying certain things about what they don't believe with Fauci and all this other stuff, which is kind of disheartening that you got to have hypocrites like this chump speaking out on the wrongs that Fauci is, you know. So that what makes it look like a lot of this shit is just politically motivated, like motherfuckers just saying shit to try and get brownie points in their parties or with their constituents when they should be doing what's right as a human being in the first fucking place. But even if you do wrong, I mean, goddamn, we all imperfect. But when you sitting up acting like your imperfections not worthy to be exposed, especially when you in positions like this, you know, it just makes you even more if you're in a position like I am, and many others are tired of all this shit, tired of all these motherfuckers running their mouth about this and that and the third. So you got these folks like this that stand their ass up. Democrats are doing this, doing that, and the third. Here it is, you fighting charges on messing with a teenager. Everybody putting all their goddamn eggs in one basket with individuals on both sides of the aisle. So, you know, I had to share this shit. The DOJ's investigation into whether Rep. Matt Gaetz violated sex trafficking laws is nearing an end. Wonder how it's going to play out. With control of Congress in place, some Republicans are preparing for potential political fallout. I don't know how can you be preparing for fallout when you already got it? You got members of both parties going at members in their own party. Republicans going after Liz Cheney, Democrats going after Sinema and Manchin, infighting amongst themselves, but yet people supposed to think that these parties, either one of them, have the best interest to bring about some type of resolution to the problems this country is making. I don't see how that can happen. When you got shit like this, you got motherfuckers that will completely use every tool available to try and keep shit like this silent. But they'll be up in your face on the news or and he's on Fox, like Matt Gaetz, he'll be on Fox talking shit about what's going on, but they won't mention this shit. I'm gonna go to another one, and this is from last year. To the other side of the aisle, Democrats silent on sexual assault allegations involving 62 children. Wow. We all know that both sides is full of shit, but I'm just going through the first part of this. on Monday, well, of course, it's last year, June, national media reported an explosive story in Colorado. A prominent Black Lives Matter activist, socialist, and Denver Public School Board member Tay Anderson stepped back from everyday board functions while an independent investigation looks into startling allegations that he sexually abused 62 current and former students. The alleged assaults range from unwanted touching to violent rape of students as young as 14 years old. 61 of these students are purportedly illegal immigrants or recipients of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which is probably why you can't never get no straight answers at the border, why certain shit is allowed to happen. You know, a lot of people have legitimate rights. I mean, why would you be shutting down a country, telling everybody to go lock themselves in, but yet you got borders wide open, people coming in. They're not getting no, they're not up under the same mandates and protocols that these folks are trying to put on a lot of the citizens. You got children who are being ripped away from their guardians and parents. Never hear them no more, or you know they pop up, you know, months later, years later. You know, maybe this is what's going on with these kids, man. It's sad. But when you got when you got shit like this that, you know, you got a whole political party to just sit back and be quiet about. It's like they being quiet about this fucking pandemic and the characters that have been involved in this shit. And you know, we don't even have to go into that, but just want to show you how both sides, you know, sit up and they keep shit toned down. And even in the Black community, you know, the hypocrisy amongst the community I'm from is rampant. We don't want to call shit out unless it's dealing with some stuff that we might be able to get something out of. Most of the time, financial. And that's fucked up. Can't call no shit out like this. And not only this guy was a Black Lives Matter proponent, and yes, I'm from the Black community, but I don't care about that Black Lives Matter movement. I've been knew it was bullshit. Anytime you got motherfuckers funding shit, and then when you get back to the names of who funding this shit or who's putting the big money behind it so that motherfuckers can even have the opportunity to get out here and say, yeah, support this, support that, send your donations here. In order for you to do all that, it has to be a motherfucker to start the ball rolling in the first place. And when you get back to these names and all that shit, who funding that shit, get the fuck out of here. Never give a damn about Black lives and don't give a damn about anybody's life, to be honest. But see, I mean, you see what happened after a couple of years or so after that shit, you know, the main heads, they running, tucking their heads in between their legs and their tails in between their legs and running out the way, trying to, I guess, hide themselves because of the negative publicity that's dealing with motherfuckers banking, buying a whole lot of shit or whatever. I mean, a person have the right to do whatever they want to do. But when you using certain motives to or certain slogans or rhetoric to get paid, and the people you supposed to have been representing or the cause and the grievances that you supposed to be representing no longer matter, then what the fuck? You been had. You know, I have to say, I hate it for a lot of blacks in the Black community I'm from who set up here and okayed a lot of this shit. You know, we know that there's issues with racism, but we also know there's issues with motherfuckers who greedy, motherfuckers who don't care, period, about what your complexion is. They're all about getting that bottom dollar. Either way, any way possible, whether it be by taking advantage of people, just straight up lying to motherfuckers or whatnot. So we know that fucking shit falls below the line of complete moronic behavior And it's preposterous to even think that motherfuckers like that could lead people out of fucking struggles that need to be addressed. Truths need to be addressed. But you won't get that way as long as you got greedy motherfuckers on all sides of the board, all sides of the spectrum, misleading motherfuckers, sitting up here taking on slogans and rolling with it. Well, the people who actually are impacted by that slogan, just look at Flint, the water shit. You think them folks give a damn about that shit? Motherfuckers still suffering from that. The impact of that years later. You know, same motherfuckers who thinking about your health right now. Same motherfuckers okay shit like Flint, or not addressing it enough where the motherfuckers just need to be held accountable, like the Governor Snyder at the time. So how the fuck can you sit here and anybody who has any you know, how can you sit up and expect a motherfucker to not have some damn not be in agreement with any of this bullshit these motherfuckers keep talking about or bringing up? So, you know, that's one thing, but this is the shit, man. This is the fucking shit, man. You know, you got all these hypocrites running around here. Give me your vote. Give me your vote. I'm going to do this and do that and the third. And then they get their ass in these positions and they roll with whatever agendas on whatever side of the aisle. But they do come together when it comes to raping and pillaging just normal people out here, you know, struggling and trying to make it, pillaging your bank accounts, pillaging your retirements and all this other shit. Motherfuckers caught up in this Ponzi scheme of the stock market and all this shit. You know, just something that they had some shit on Nancy Pelosi ass, all that insider trading shit. All the motherfuckers do that shit because they all are in the same circles with motherfuckers from these corporations. Hell, they'll sit up there and tell motherfucking us, for example, motherfuckers maybe pushing for some type of energy bill. So that may be cha-ching, bring in more money to, let's say, DTE or consumers or whatever energy company. And so these motherfuckers here, or on the other side of the aisle, they would sit with these representatives from these organizations, and these folks will put some shit on the table about, yeah, this is what we know, if we had legislation like this, then we could do this and do that and the third. And these folks will sit here and they'll be like, yeah, you know, we're gonna pay you this, lobbying or whatever, big donors. And that's just an example I'm using with the energy. Now, the decision may cause a backlash on paying customers throughout the whatever area or whatever provider you may have, and it might reflect in higher prices, might reflect in your bill going up, might reflect in the quality of work, in maintaining the present systems. Like, you know, for example, you know, you look out here and you see lines of wires everywhere. Look like every time you turn around, the storms happening, wind knocking shit down. I know damn well in the area I'm at, I done seen at least like 4 snapped telephone poles, which have house wires and shit connected. And you know what they did? They just went and got another flimsy ass pole, put that shit back in the ground. But just think, if everybody knew about 0-point energy solutions and shit that Tesla used to bring about, you wouldn't need that shit. It would no longer be a danger. You would no longer have to worry about power going out because of this and that, because your shit would be getting fed from other sources. But they would sit there and they'll make a deal with these motherfuckers, and then they'll sit up here and push that shit through their representatives and all this shit. get out in here and in people's faces and people, oh, that sounds so good. We need that shit and all this. And not knowing that these motherfuckers are getting some type of payment out of it. You can bet that. They say they use wordplay and make shit sound all good, but when at the end, the consumers are the ones being left out to dry. Motherfucker got to have that be at that in that point in time. You gotta be in the valley of decision. Am I gonna pay this high ass bill because the rates that went up and all this other shit, or am I gonna use it on something else? But they would sit there and go ahead with it, push that shit, get the shit passed, celebrate, and then motherfuckers sit here wondering why they shit fucked up years later, months later, you know, why the prices done went up, why these motherfuckers sit up, they straight. And the company in which that lobbied them to get certain measures passed, they straight. They just tapped into another aspect of control as far as when it comes to energy. And they got a never-ending web of keeping money, keeping that money flow while they raping society. So, you know, I hope, man, motherfuckers understand this shit. That you got people out here that probably would do a whole lot better in positions like this. And they haven't went to school for this shit. They haven't done a lot of things that, you know, you would think would be normal for a person. You have people, some people that just intuitively have a good spirit, good communication skills, that and the third, have good aspects on how everybody could coexist. You don't never hear shit like that coming from y'all. Everything has to be about some entitlement or, you know, just straight up everybody's at odds with one another for different shit. And a lot of this shit coming from these hypocrites all around the board. I don't get that. I do not fucking get that, but I had to put that shit, had to share that because and like I said, I'm not gonna be here on here about a couple more minutes and you know get off, but kind of sitting back, seeing what that what's gonna be the deal about still got volcanoes going off. That one volcano in Tonga still having issues. So we're, you know, what's going on, we'll never get the full truth. So let me see. Let me go to this real quick. Hold on. Let me go to this one. Of course, you know, Fox. House lawmakers demand Pelosi, McCarthy swiftly hold vote on bills to ban Congress from trading stocks. It's 2022, right? Okay. In the middle, and I, you know, can't say it's shit didn't end it, but still in a pandemic. All type of shit didn't happen. January 6th, pull out of Afghanistan, crazy as hell. All this weird shit popping up. So House lawmakers now demand Pelosi, McCarthy swiftly hold vote on bills to ban Congress from trading stocks. Why now? Why the fuck now? When motherfuckers didn't got paid out the ass, those that invested in stocks in these pharmaceutical companies and all this shit, why now? And that's something they really gonna do? Get the fuck out of here. You know they're not. But they put shit out here like this to get everybody oh boy, yeah, we're doing something. These motherfuckers ain't trying to stop shit that been enriching them. Get the fuck out of here. If you believe that shit, man, you believe a fucking pig fly. And you never know. They probably got some with all the cloning and hybridization shit they've been doing. You might have a cross between a pig and something else flying around this motherfucker. I don't know. Never can tell. But why? Why now? You know, these same motherfucking folks, man, they sitting up here doing all type of corrupt shit. So I just wanted to share that shit about just some of these fucked up ass lawmakers, and you know, the fact that, you know, that shit dealing with sex trafficking, you know, it's like that shit there. And I'm gonna hold on 1 minute. I gotta show it. Gotta go to this demo. Gotta go to this. Let's see. Make sure I get to the right one. Hold on. But it, you know, it's just had a wonderful conversation with a friend of mine. From my past history when I lived in Georgia. We actually worked together. Another person who's a proponent of truth. We have different avenues to get to that truth, but we all agree on what is needed for society, and that is the need for shit. Truth need to come out, and it need to be spoken, and folks need to be called out like they need to be. As simple as that. But we had a wonderful conversation on some shit, man. I love it when I had these conversations because, you know, I always let you know that no matter what these folks say, you know, everybody ain't agreeing with a lot of shit. But I'm looking for a specific article, and I think I may have. Hold on. But it was dealing with mostly a large tale of Democratic politicians whose names been dropped on some type of form of sex trafficking or sexual assault, or, you know, anything dealing with shit like that. Hold on. And I think I lost that article. Hold on. We have, yeah, but anyway. You know, the whole thing is about, this is something that's wrong, you know, human sex trafficking and all that shit. You know, whatever a person does, you know, that's their thing. I mean, if you do it and you doing shit that's not in tune or not in alignment with certain truths, then you have to be able to face the consequences that come from that shit. You know, we know goddamn well you're not supposed to be fucking with no children, period. So, you know, maybe certain people feel like they can do it because they either hold a specific title, they feel like they got enough resources around them to keep certain shit hidden. And, you know, that's fucking not kosher. Now, this is an old article from 2017. I mean, this shit has always been like 11 Democrats accused of running child sex ring over the last 12 months, over a year. You know, so you have from mayors to people in local governance. And then you go into shit that is a little more recent. You know, and there you go. You got Epstein name pop up. So it's like all these motherfuckers that keep using the Democrat as a slogan, like that shit supposed to mean purity and all this other shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. These folks is just as corrupt and low down and dirty, greedy, and willing to exploit a grievance or a reality that's affecting people for their own personal gain and enrichment and benefit. And these motherfuckers know that shit. And it's on both sides of the fucking aisle. When people start calling that shit out for what it is and start acting like this shit, either side gonna save a motherfucker. Cause like, damn, what the fuck have they have all of the bickering and backbiting and all that shit that been going on? How the fuck how can you ever move a society forward? And this is all a motherfucker is engaged in 24/7. So with that, I just wanted to share a little of that shit, and I'm gonna get off of here. I'm wishing everybody peace and love for the remainder of the day and the week. Continue to stay uplifted in truth. Keep a third eye open. And I just want to say that a lot of people get turned off when they see a lot of titles on Breitbart, or you might see Fox News, and if you're a Democrat, you might see or a Republican, you might see CNN or MSNBC. Completely disregard any information. But I'm like this, and I'm gonna close. You know that Breitbart is right leaning. We know that certain people that's associated with like Banner, what was his name? That was with Trump, the Banner guy. Not the Hulk, not Bruce Banner, David Banner, but I forgot his first name, but you know, that dude who's on a lot of race shit and all that stuff. But just, you know, these folks, you can't use a lot of that shit that a lot of people do to turn away from specific facts or truths. So, you know, if you do that, then you will deny the fact that Democrats just as fucked up as the shit they be talking about Trump. As a matter of fact, they had a couple of that resigned because of shit. Hell, look at the fucking governor of New York. You know, whether they did that shit or not, the fact that energy is around allegations like that. So, you know, you got these folks in here and it's doing this shit, you know, and you have coverage on that shit, whether it be in the media here or there or mainstream or independent media. You know, it doesn't take away the fact that it's some truths that need to be taken heed, man. You got people like this expecting you to continue to empower them so they can continue to act like they are helping the country, and they're not. And motherfuckers know that shit, man. That's the sad thing about it. You know these motherfuckers are not about no good, and you seeing it. It don't matter what color they is, black, white, wherever. Shit, black folks sitting up talking this shit, and I hate to hear that shit because it's like, man, what the fuck? Are you serious? You got black anchors and people on in established circles that's sitting up here going according to certain shit, knowing goddamn well, man, that's totally against what our ancestors and some of the people doing the civil rights movement, all this shit. This is what they talked about against. This is shit they did not represent, period. And even though, you know, this governance and all this shit has always been some corrupt shit going on, man. Motherfuckers knew how to have more of a moral stance on certain shit. Now you just got motherfuckers just saying any goddamn thing. And they feel like, oh, as long as I get likes and this and that, we'll run with that shit. I get up here and as a black woman on MSNBC and push and try and push for a tax on people who ain't taking a procedure. Get the fuck out of here. And with that, I'm a wake up. People in the black community, man, you gotta understand, man, a lot of this shit, man, is not meant for nobody. You know, they keeping all of us at odds, man. We want to sit up here and we want to point the finger, but look at all the corruption and bullshit we doing amongst ourselves. All the shit that we continue to try and overlook. We get hyped up when we want to put our issues out there and have everybody circling around, you know, trying to hear our grievances. But when we start talking about shit that's affecting our communities and stuff, self-inflicted shit, then motherfucker want, you know, oh man, we can't talk about that. Or you're a sellout of this or that, Uncle Tom, all this other bullshit. Just bullshit for no reason. And motherfucker don't understand this is deep. This is how they want a motherfucker to be. This is how these motherfuckers want motherfuckers to be. Keep fighting, keep the arguing, keep pointing fingers while we sit up here and move this whole planet into a prison. Period. So with that, I like to say peace, universal greetings as I came, and then everyone who come across this video, you know, that you have a blessed, continued blessed day and rest of this week. Search for truth, hang on to truth, follow your intuition, God-given wisdom, and look forward to positive, righteous change that's needed across this planet.